20 Golden Age actors with physiques. So amazing that leading ladies swooned between takes. What if the most impressive physiques in Hollywood history were forged before protein shakes, CrossFit, or even air-conditioned gyms existed? Picture a time when actors didn't just look like heroes, they were heroes. Olympic gold medal swimmers, Mr. Universe champions, NFL record breakers, coal mine powerhouses, and high-wire circus acrobats whose lives depended on raw, functional strength. You probably watched them on Saturday matinees or drive-in double features, never realizing the brutal training behind those perfectly cut shoulders and barn door chests. No CGI, no stunt doubles, just calloused hands, 6-hour swim sessions, 10-hour logging shifts, and back-breaking ranch work that built bodies the modern supplement industry still can't reproduce. Tonight, we're counting down 20 Golden Age legends who proved real muscle beats movie magic every time. Think you can predict which 3 icons cracked our top 5? Drop your guesses in the comments and see if the rest of the crowd agrees. Number 20, Buster Crabbe, the Olympic triple threat. Remember Flash Gordon? Buster Crabbe wasn't just playing a superhero, he had Olympic gold in the 400-meter freestyle to prove it. At 6 feet and 185 pounds of pure swimmer's muscle, Crabbe competed in both the 1928 and 1932 Olympics. His training would destroy modern athletes. 6-hour daily sessions, over 10,000 meters of swimming, building that perfect V-shaped torso you saw swinging through space as Flash Gordon. No fancy equipment, just a pool, stopwatch, and work ethic that would make today's stars weep. Crabbe was also a water polo champion at USC. Those broad shoulders and narrow waist, pure Olympic conditioning, folks, real functional strength that made Saturday afternoons magical for your generation. But here's what made him special. Studios wanted authentic athletes back then, not pretty faces with personal trainers. Number 19. Gordon Scott, the engineered Tarzan. Gordon Scott stood 6 feet 3 and 218 pounds of engineered perfection. When you saw him as Tarzan, you were watching a man who'd systematically built his body using military precision and classic bodybuilding principles that predated today's supplement nonsense. Scott's military background taught him discipline 3 times a week, full body workouts, compound movements that built real strength. No machines, no complicated splits, just fundamental exercises your fathers used in basement gyms across America. What made Scott perfect for Tarzan was understanding the role required more than size. He trained for functional movement, tree climbing, rope work, swimming. When he grabbed that vine, audiences believed he could support his weight because he genuinely could. The training methods that built Scott's jungle physique are the same ones that built strong men for generations. Number 18, Clint Walker, the gentle giant. At 6 feet 6 and 235 pounds, Clint Walker was what happened when good genes met honest work. If you remember Cheyenne, you were watching a man whose incredible physique came from construction work and logging, the same back-breaking labor that built your own fathers without them realizing it. Walker's massive chest and shoulders weren't gym sculpted. They were forged, lifting steel beams and swinging axes in Pacific Northwest forests. Those forearms like tree trunks, 10-hour shifts gripping tools, that broad back, moving heavy timber, not pulling fancy cables. He maintained his physique through basic calisthenics and outdoor work. No personal chefs, no complicated programs, just understanding a man's body was meant to work. When Cheyenne had to lift a fallen beam, audiences never questioned whether he could do it. That's believable strength modern Hollywood completely lost. Number 17, Tab Hunter, the golden boy athlete. Tab Hunter looked designed to be America's perfect boyfriend. At 6 feet 1, with a 44-inch chest, 32-inch waist, and 16-inch biceps, he was a genetic jackpot. But Hunter's physique came from real athletic achievement. He was a competitive figure skater whose explosive jumps built incredible leg strength. Hunter was also a dedicated surfer when surfing was still a niche sport. That sun-bleached hair and tan weren't studio magic. They came from hours paddling Pacific swells. Surfing built those distinctive shoulders and natural athleticism that translated beautifully to film. Plus, horseback riding gave him perfect leg development and core control. Hunter stayed in incredible shape by living an active, adventurous life. Swimming, surfing, skating, riding, this natural fitness approach created the healthy, approachable masculinity that defined 1950s leading men. Number 16, Clint Eastwood, the natural athlete. Clint Eastwood towered at 6'4" with naturally lean power, maintained for decades without becoming a gym rat. What you witnessed in Rawhide was authentic frontier strength, built through real-world activities, not manufactured muscle. Eastwood's foundation came from competitive swimming, developing that long torso and broad shoulders perfect for cowboy roles. Logging jobs in the Pacific Northwest gave him ropey forearms and functional back strength that made him convincing handling horses or throwing punches. His philosophy was elegantly simple. Fitness should serve life, not dominate it. While other actors spent hours in gyms, Eastwood was fishing, hunting, maintaining ranch properties, physical activity woven naturally into daily routine. When the man with no name handled a gun or mounted a horse, there was never question about his competence. Natural athleticism created authentic presence CGI cannot replicate. Number 15, Gary Cooper, the ranch-built cowboy. Gary Cooper's 6'3" frame and famous 44-inch shoulders were built on actual ranches, not Hollywood gyms. When you watched Cooper play cowboys, you saw a man who genuinely lived that life. Lean, powerful physique from the same work that built the American West. Growing up in Montana, Cooper's strength came from horseback riding, cattle work, and the 1,000 daily tasks required for ranch life. That natural athleticism made him Hollywood's most believable cowboy. Even after stardom, Cooper maintained his physique through activities he enjoyed: riding, hunting, outdoor work that kept him connected to his roots. His legendary riding skills showed natural grace that can't be taught, only earned through years in the saddle. Cooper represented quiet, competent American masculinity your generation understood instinctively. Strength earned through honest effort, rather than artificial enhancement. Number 14, Errol Flynn, the swashbuckling athlete. Errol Flynn's 6'2" frame was athletic poetry in motion. Every sword fight you remember from Captain Blood showcased genuine ability. Flynn was a legitimate boxer, sailor, and tennis player whose real skills made those swashbuckling scenes electric. Flynn's boxing background gave him physical confidence and lightning reflexes that made sword work believable. He'd stepped into rings in Australia, developing footwork and timing that translated perfectly to staged combat. He was also a serious sailor who understood working a ship, building upper body strength through maritime experience. Plus, competitive tennis built explosive leg strength and endurance for elaborate action sequences. Flynn moved like a genuine athlete because he was one. That authentic physicality elevated every action scene he filmed. Modern audiences watching Flynn witness real athletic ability translated into cinematic adventure. Number 13, Steve Reeves, the natural Mr. Universe. Steve Reeves, at 6'1" and 216 pounds, had what many consider the most perfectly proportioned physique in bodybuilding history. Those measurements read like a Greek statue: 18¼ inch biceps, 52-inch chest, 29-inch waist. Mr. America, 1947. Mr. World, 1948. Mr. Universe, 1950, to all achieved completely naturally. Reeves trained the way your generation understood fitness. 3 full-body workouts weekly, basic exercises with perfect form, patience for natural growth. While modern bodybuilders train daily with complex routines, Reeves built his legendary physique with just 3 sessions per week. His nutrition was equally straightforward: real food, balanced meals, and that famous morning power drink with milk, honey, and protein powder he mixed himself. No exotic supplements, just sensible eating your mothers would recognize. When Hollywood cast Reeves as Hercules, they got a man who actually looked like he could perform the labors of Hercules. That authentic strength launched the sword and sandal genre. Number 12. William Holden, the athletic All-American. William Holden's 5'11" frame and classic proportions, 42-inch chest, 32-inch waist, represented the athletic American ideal that defined leading men for your generation. His physical conditioning came from real competitive experience, not manufactured fitness. Holden was a genuine multi-sport athlete whose coordination and natural movement reflected years of actual training. That distinctive confidence came from knowing his body could perform when called upon. Holden stayed in shape through activities he enjoyed: tennis, swimming, outdoor adventures that kept him lean and strong without tedious gym routines. He understood something your generation knew instinctively. Physical presence should reflect genuine capability, not just visual appeal. When he played military officers or adventurous characters, audiences never questioned his competence because they could see real athleticism underneath the Hollywood polish. Number 11. Johnny Weissmuller, the swimming machine. Johnny Weissmuller wasn't just playing Tarzan at 6'3" and 190 pounds of swimmer's perfection. He was probably the greatest aquatic athlete who ever lived. 5. Olympic gold medals, 67 world records, never lost a single race. When you watched him swing through jungle vines, you saw genuine Olympic caliber athleticism. His training regimen would humble modern athletes. 6 hours daily in the pool, covering distances that would break lesser men. His revolutionary technique built the functional upper body strength that made Tarzan's stunts completely believable. Swimming develops exactly the proportions you'd expect from a man living in trees: broad shoulders, narrow waist, incredible lung capacity, that V-shape defining masculine beauty for your generation. No artificial enhancement, just natural result of perfecting fundamental human movement. When Weissmuller dove from cliffs or swam underwater, audiences knew they were watching genuine capability, not movie magic. Number 10. Tyrone Power, the fencing master. Tyrone Power's 6'2" frame and classical proportions made him one of Hollywood's most beautiful leading men, but genuine athletic ability gave him distinctive screen presence. His legendary sword work in The Mark of Zorro showcased real fencing skills developed through years of dedicated training. Power's foundation came from serious martial arts study, mastering actual techniques of swordplay. When you watched Power duel, you saw legitimate athletic skill, not just theatrical staging. He was also an accomplished horseman whose equestrian skills were essential to swashbuckling roles, plus boxing training that developed reflexes and cardiovascular fitness for action sequences. Power's authentic confidence came from genuine physical capability. When Zorro leaped from balconies or engaged in sword fights, audiences never questioned the character's abilities, because they could see Power's real athleticism underneath costume and makeup. Number 9. Bert Lancaster, the circus strongman. Bert Lancaster's incredible 6'1" physique came from one of Hollywood's most demanding athletic backgrounds. Professional circus acrobat whose death-defying stunts required strength, coordination, and courage few men possess. When you watched Lancaster in The Crimson Pirate, you witnessed genuine circus-level athleticism. Lancaster and partner Nick Cravat spent years perfecting routines demanding incredible upper body strength and precise timing. Circus training builds functional strength like nothing else, supporting partners' full weight, executing flips with split-second timing, maintaining peak conditioning for life-or-death performances. Those spectacular rope swings and acrobatic sequences in his adventure films weren't choreographed stunts. They were genuine demonstrations of circus skill. Lancaster could actually do everything his characters appeared to do. His circus background provided authentic physical confidence that made every scene believable. When Lancaster leaped from ship to ship, his training provided genuine capability that simply cannot be faked. Number 8. Charles Bronson, the coal miner's son. Charles Bronson's stocky 5'9" frame and incredibly powerful build came from the hardest training imaginable, Pennsylvania coal mines, where weakness meant danger and strength meant survival. When you watched Bronson's tough guy roles, you saw authentic working-class power forged underground. Hours swinging mining tools, moving heavy equipment, working in dangerous conditions, developed functional strength that made Bronson's screen presence convincing. His strength wasn't gym manufactured. It was earned through necessity, forged where physical capability meant supporting family. Bronson supplemented natural strength through boxing, developing quick hands and aggressive instincts. But his boxing wasn't recreational. It was working-class culture, where men settled disputes with fists and physical courage was expected. What you saw in Bronson's presence was authentic toughness from overcoming genuine adversity. His characters were believable because audiences sensed real experience behind performance. Number 7, Jim Brown, the athletic phenomenon. Jim Brown, at 6'2" and 232 pounds, wasn't just an actor playing an athlete. He was one of America's greatest athletes who happened to become a movie star. NFL Hall of Famer, lacrosse All-American, possibly the most dominant multi-sport athlete who ever lived. Brown led the NFL in rushing 8 of 9 seasons. Retired as all-time leading rusher, did it all before age 30. His 5.2 yards per carry remains an NFL record. At Syracuse, he was lacrosse All-American. Many consider it his best sport. When Brown played tough guys in The Dirty Dozen, audiences watched genuine physical capability backed by real competitive experience. He brought presence that comes only from proven dominance in actual competition. Brown's training was elegantly simple. Sports-specific conditioning, functional strength, natural athleticism that can't be taught. He understood his body as precision instrument for peak performance rather than visual appeal. Number 6, Kirk Douglas, the dimpled gladiator. Kirk Douglas's compact 5'9" frame packed incredible power built through wrestling background and relentless conditioning. When you watched Douglas in Spartacus, you saw authentic fighting strength translated to screen. Wrestling at St. Lawrence University built his foundation. Wrestling develops functional strength, like few sports. Controlling another person's body weight requires power, endurance, mental toughness that translated beautifully to screen combat. Douglas's build matched his roles perfectly. That compact, muscular frame looked genuinely functional rather than aesthetically pleasing. He carried himself with confidence of a man who'd tested his strength against others. When he trained for Champion, Douglas learned to box convincingly, developing genuine skills that made fight scenes completely believable. His characters convinced because audiences sensed real strength and competitive experience underneath dramatic performance. Number 5, Clark Gable, the King's hidden power. Clark Gable's 6'1" frame and legendary measurements, 46-inch chest, 32-inch waist, were maintained through fitness routine that would surprise modern audiences. The King of Hollywood was a dedicated athlete whose conditioning was essential to his screen presence. Gable's foundation came from working-class background and genuine love of outdoor activities. Before fame, he'd worked physical jobs that built real strength, never losing appreciation for functional fitness over appearance. What many didn't know was Gable's dedication to boxing training, maintained throughout his career for conditioning and stress relief. Boxing developed cardiovascular fitness and aggressive confidence that served him well in tough guy roles. Studio records show Gable was remarkably consistent with fitness. Understanding his physique was essential to career success. His approach was refreshingly straightforward. Basic exercises, outdoor activities, sustainable routine that kept him in excellent shape well into his 50s. Number 4, Rock Hudson, the Fantasy Factory's crown jewel. Rock Hudson's towering 6'5" frame and impossibly broad shoulders represented Hollywood's perfect American male, but genuine athleticism backed up his movie star appearance. Hudson's physique was built through active lifestyle that created naturally powerful men. Hudson's foundation came from ranch background and love of outdoor activities. Swimming, horseback riding, physical work, maintaining ranch properties, built functional strength that made his screen presence naturally commanding. Rather than treating exercise separately from living, Hudson maintained his incredible physique through activities he enjoyed: swimming for hours, riding horses with real skill, outdoor adventures that kept him naturally lean and strong. What strikes modern viewers is authentic masculinity from real physical capability. His characters were convincing because audiences could sense genuine strength and athletic ability underneath Hollywood polish. Number 3, Carrie Grant, mathematical perfection. Carrie Grant's 6'2" frame wasn't just handsome, it was mathematically perfect, with proportions following the golden ratio so precisely that plastic surgeons still use his measurements as ideal template. With 44-inch chest and 32-inch waist, Grant possessed what scientists call architectural beauty. Grant's incredible physique came from circus acrobat background, developing functional strength and body control that served him throughout career. Acrobatic training builds complete athleticism, strength, flexibility, coordination, body awareness that translated perfectly to sophisticated screen presence. His acrobatic background gave him something modern actors completely lack: ability to move with genuine athletic grace. Whether physical comedy or romantic scenes, Grant's natural coordination made everything look effortless and elegant. Here's what might shock you. Grant once asked a plastic surgeon to remove his famous dimpled chin, calling it a nuisance to shave. Fortunately, the surgeon talked him out of it, preserving one of cinema's most recognizable features. Number 2, Sha Connory, the bodybuilding Bond. Sha Connory's transformation from unknown Scottish laborer to international superstar began when he stepped onto the Mr. Universe stage at 6'2" and 200 pounds of genuine muscle. With measurements reading like a bodybuilder's dream: 48-inch chest, 25-inch thighs, 15¼ inch arms, Connory wasn't just playing tough. Working as milkman and coffin polisher, Connory entered serious bodybuilding training under Ellington, former British Army instructor. 2 years of military discipline, no fancy equipment, no supplements, just basic barbells and determination to transform his body. At Mr. Universe, standing next to professional bodybuilders worldwide, Connory held his own on pure genetics and relentless training. While he didn't place top 6, his physique caught attention of fellow competitor, who mentioned South Pacific auditions. When 007 engaged in legendary fight scenes, audiences watched a man who'd tested his strength against elite competition. That authentic power translated to screen presence no amount of stunt training could replicate. Number 1, Marlon Brando, the revolutionary sculptor. Marlon Brando, at 5 feet 9 inches and 165 to 170 pounds during his streetcar prime, didn't just possess incredible physique, he revolutionized what masculine beauty looked like and changed American culture forever. When you watched Brando tear off that t-shirt as Stanley Kowalski, you witnessed the moment Hollywood masculinity transformed from pretty boy polish to raw, authentic power. Brando's boxing background provided foundation for his revolutionary physique. Training with professionals like Rocky Graziano, Brando developed genuine fighting skills and physical confidence that radiated from every scene. His shadow boxing, heavy bag work, and daily gym routines built functional strength that translated to unprecedented screen presence. What made Brando truly revolutionary? He understood authentic masculinity comes from embracing rather than hiding emotional vulnerability. His physique wasn't just about looking powerful, it expressed complete range of human experience through physical presence. Modern actors still study Brando because he proved authentic. Physicality creates screen presence, transcending mere appearance. When you watched Brando perform, you saw genuine capability backed by real strength and complete preparation that defined his revolutionary acting approach. Brando transformed. American ideas about masculinity by proving real men could be both incredibly strong and emotionally honest, a combination that remains revolutionary today. And there it is, 20 titans of Tinseltown who carved their physiques the old-fashioned way. Did our lineup match your memories? Drop a comment telling us which golden age powerhouse you'd draft onto your dream team, or who we shamefully left out. If you crave more true Hollywood muscle, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a deep dive into cinema's toughest legends. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and keep those reels rolling.